What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one I want to talk about Tesla stock and break down something very important about the media and some news that's coming out about Tesla. I'm also going to talk about the technicals for Tesla, SPY, Nvda, and the QQQ. Before I begin down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moon link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and this offer ends very, very soon. So anyways, I want to break down something very important about Tesla. So in my morning video, I told you that Tesla was shuffling around this 250 area after we got the deliveries report. Tesla met expectations. They didn't necessarily smash expectations. They didn't really destroy them. They just met them, and that's the reason why Tesla's been shuffling the way it's been. As a result, we actually saw Tesla even drop a bit with the market. So we ended up seeing SPY sell off a bit. The QQQ was selling off more thanks to Aapl. Nvidia was playing somewhat of a role too, but so was Aapl. And with the market selling off, this is kind of like anchoring Tesla down just a bit. I gave you guys this warning in the morning. But there's also something else I warned you guys about, and that is how the media is going to handle this. The media loves to bash Tesla. The media loves to make Tesla look bad. They love to trivialize Tesla's achievements and make Tesla look less significant. So I wanted to break down proof of that and show you what the media is saying right now, at least the majority of these major headlines. So CNBC came out, they're saying that Tesla did 485,000 deliveries for the fourth quarter, bringing the total for 1.8 million for 2023. Now, if you want more details on these numbers, you can look at my penultimate video, my morning video that came out. I actually broke down these numbers in more detail, but look at how many resources are just kind of like looking at this. Tesla overtaken by China's BYD as the world's biggest EV maker, right? More news is coming out from Yahoo Finance. Tesla falls behind China's BYD in quarterly EV sales. BBC News, China's BYD overtakes Tesla's electric car sales in last quarter of 2023. Most sites I'm seeing are just continuing to bash Tesla and praising BYD, saying that they're doing better and this and that, and the list goes on. But please know that BYD is not just an EV company. They also sell hybrids and etc. But they did achieve a record 526,000 battery-only vehicles in the final quarter of 2023, which is big news for them. So congratulations to BYD and also congratulations to Tesla. They're both doing well. They're both killing it. Okay, but comparing them side by side doesn't always make the most sense, in my opinion. Here's exactly why. Look at BYD's history, okay? They're a good company. They're growing. Congratulations to them. Their work, their employees are doing great. But they've been in the auto industry since 2003. Look at their sales for the automotive market. 2003 they did 20,000, right? Go up to like 2011, they're already at 500,000 sales. This is like in total. After so much time, they've been in this business much longer than Tesla. Okay, much longer than Tesla, and they just recently surpassed Tesla's overall their electric vehicles, their deliveries and such. So yes, I mean I'm proud of them. Good job to them, but that doesn't change the fact that Tesla's also very impressive considering how recent Tesla has come to the automotive space relative to BYD. BYD has been here since 2003. Tesla's been delivering cars since around 2012. Think about the difference there. Back in 2012, Tesla was just getting started at 2000, and slowly but surely, Tesla started to catch up and just absolutely explode. So, with that being said, although BYD is showing some great growth, although I'm just gonna say that the team is doing a good job at doing so. I also want to note that there's more to Tesla than just their sales. It's not just a car company. Tesla has energy storage. Tesla also has the AI development, FSD, their Dojo supercomputers, so much more, which makes it, in my opinion, even more valuable. So I just really hate this comparison that I'm seeing from the media, just having to compare them over and over and over and over again. We get it. BYD got more sales than Tesla, right? They even have more EV sales. If you just break down that one sector, good for them. But that doesn't change the fact that Tesla is not growing. Tesla is still growing like crazy. That doesn't mean that Tesla is not a good company. It's growing like crazy. It still has so much upside. So I just feel like it's best to just look at both companies side by side instead of trying to just compare them and make them rivals, and just look at their growth and praise what each of them are trying to do on their own. I really just hate all of this, madness that's coming out. So with that being said, Tesla is notorious for having very high expectations. These Wall Street analysts, these people, these investors, they typically expect Tesla to smash expectations. The fact that Tesla met expectations is very good considering the fact that we're in a high interest rate environment, and that's hurting Tesla's business alongside other EV makers around the world. It's hurt so many companies so much that different companies out there are just continuing to resort to kind of like transition away from EVs just temporarily, prioritize hybrids. That's what like Ford and some of the others out there are doing, just temporarily. So it just shows how well Tesla's still doing and how much potential it has. Anyways, now looking at the charts, Tesla's kind of flat right now. We're trading sideways between basically the 247 area. I told you all that this is our next support if we ended up losing 250, watch the 247s. And if we lost that, our next level is in the 244s. If we lost that, then we have like 242. There's some support at 242, but it's not that crazy. Then we have 240 below that. So those are all of our supports. Resistance, you have 250, then 252.5. As of right now, we're just kind of stuck trading sideways in the 247s, right? It's just kind of stuck, not really doing much, kind of boring for now. And it might just be stuck within the range for the rest of the day. Very, very boring day. Tesla wanted to break out, but ended up failing as we didn't see enough buyers really push this thing up. Tesla did not blow investors away as it just barely met expectations, unfortunately. But that doesn't change the fact that Tesla did well. Tesla still did very well nonetheless, guys. I'm still proud of the team, and I think that there's still so much growth to come for the long term. But that's it for the intraday update for Tesla. For SPY, it's looking bearish to me. I say this because I'm going to look at such some other bigger time frames. The daily looks bearish, and we just got a bearish crossover on the PPO, and we're approaching the 20 EMA in my opinion, which is going to be very close to this like 468 area. I think we look bearish overall. Looking at SPY, it's testing this low right here, the support right over here, very close to this 471.6 zone, like around there. If we lose this, we're going to be looking for another push down towards 471 flat. Then we have 470. And if we lose 470, 468 is going to be next. We look bearish. We're making lower highs and lower lows. We're continuing to downtrend. There's likely going to be more downside coming. You could even use an Elliott wave sequence to break this down if you want, but you could see the trend is looking bearish from this break of the rising wedge. So I'm anticipating this thing to slowly downtrend even more, and there's likely more downside coming for SPY as I favor the bears a bit more. On the QQQ, it's no different. This is heavily favoring the bears. Look at this big drop we got, especially today. Massive drop on the QQQ, especially thanks to Aapl. We're barely holding very close to this 402 area. The next resistance above this is going to be the breakout zone around 402.9. It's basically 403, actually. Then above that, we have 404 to 404.3. Then we have 405.7 to 406 and 408 above that. Those are all resistance levels. For support, we're going to be watching basically around 400. That's going to be critical support. And also 401.3, like around there. We have the support right here in the 401s, the mid 401s. And if we lose that, I mean, we're just going to head down to 400 basically. If we lose that, I mean, this support right here is also at like 399. And then below that, we have 396.5. So overall, I mean, it looks weak, very bearish. When we watch to see if we can try to hold around this 402 zone, but it looks like it's going to continue to fail. So please watch your levels carefully and just know that the QQQ is not looking the best for the bulls. It's favoring the bears, if anything, by a long shot. For Nvda, this is starting to favor the bears a bit more. We're kind of trading sideways between 479 to 482. But we got a break from our supports, the support zone I called out. So if you zoom out of the charts on Nvidia, and I do apologize if there are too many lines, it's kind of messy because I like to zoom into the chart when showing you guys. But we have this blue support over here. See this blue trend line acting as support. Once you zoom in, you could see we got a break below support. This led to a break to the downside. This was quite bearish, right? We broke this key support. Now we're watching resistance at 482. Above that, we have 485 as the next zone. For support, watch 479. If we lose that, there's some support at 476 and also 474.5. In my opinion, Nvidia is going to shuffle very close to where we currently are for the rest of the day. And I think that the trend is looking a bit more bearish as we are making lower highs and lower lows, but we'll be watching to see if this thing ends up closing below 480 in the future. As long as we close above it, there's still some potential for it to try to hold close to this range. It might remain in this range for an extended period of time, but there's a risk of downside later on looking at the fact that it broke the blue trend line. So could Nvidia break down in the future? Yes. I want to see it close below 480 to see even more downside conviction. But overall, it's just range bound, and it's going to likely remain range bound for the rest of the day in the range I just called out. And then for Apple, I would say Apple's looking very weak overall. It is barely holding the support, but it's still looking very weak. So we got this break below 190. We're just seeing a big drop on Apple. And I just want to mention that right over here, let me just find it. On the daily time frame, especially, we look really bearish right now. Very bearish on the daily. I could easily see this thing dropping more. And with that being said, I mean, if we lose 180, we're going to be watching for the daily 200 EMA. And also on the weekly, I want to double check the weekly. We also have this key support over here very close to where that EMA is at the 50 EMA. So the weekly is about to turn bearish on Apple. This could lead to more downside for the markets. Apple is leading the way down so far. So what levels should you be watching for? For resistance, watch 185, and also watch 186-ish, very close to this 186 area. We have some resistance there, 186.5, 188, and then 189 to 190. Those are our resistance levels. For support, watch 184.25-ish. If we lose that, there's 183, then 182.5 and 180. Overall, Apple is favoring the bears. We're just continuing to downtrend. It is trying to hold 184.25 for now, so it might just continue to shuffle as time goes on. But overall, the bears are in control, and they're likely going to drag this thing even lower. So with that being said, guys, we might see the shuffle for some time in this range, but the trend is to the downside. There's going to be risk of more downside as time goes on, especially looking at the daily and the weekly time frames. So Apple looks bearish. It looks like it's going to be dropping more as time goes on, gets to the much lower 180s, but watch support at least within this range for the rest of the day. And that's pretty much it for my video. So thank you all so much for listening. Hopefully this video was insightful and helpful for the people out there. As far as Tesla goes, it's looking a little bit weaker because of the whole overall market. But just notes that the mainstream media is playing a role, as it likes to just kind of compare Tesla and belittle it, as it likes to compare it to other companies. I don't really like to do that. I don't really like to compare Tesla too much to all these other companies, and I just want to focus on Tesla in itself, its growth, its potential, and where improvements could be made. So I'm still very bullish on Tesla for the long term, but for the short term, it's looking like it's still range bound. It could even see a little downside. So just be very careful. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Have a great day, and peace out.